Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, I know we've got quite a few big games tomorrow, but I can't get that into my recording schedule. It's either now or never. So I'm going to record this on Sunday night, and you can see some of the big results we're going to look at in today's video. As ever, I hope you like this ASMR video, meant to help you relax, maybe have a discussion, drop a comment if so, or maybe even can fall asleep to this video. And I'm going to go through a couple of the smaller leagues as well today, as quick as I can, because there's not a huge amount of results for each league as they're being spread out over the long weekend, particularly here in Britain. But without further ado, let's take a look at some of the important matches that have taken place in Britain. Here we go. Don't forget to like the video for me, by the way. That would be so amazing. Okay, so yesterday, Chelsea, look everyone, Chelsea won 3-1 to Bournemouth. Man City just beat Leeds to go top. Tottenham, look everyone, Tottenham won. Harry Kane, of course, beating Crystal Palace 1-0. Wolves beat Aston Villa. I think that's Unai Emery's, it's certainly, if it's not his first loss, maybe his second. It's the first game that Aston Villa haven't scored in since he took over. And Liverpool managed to beat a difficult Brentford team. Today's big results: Arsenal beat Newcastle, cracking match. And look at that, West Ham beating Man United. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but De Gea makes a massive mistake. He's making so many mistakes, and he's out of contract in the summer. If I were them, I wouldn't renew it, frankly. But there we go. Man City top 82, Arsenal 81, Newcastle 65, but Manchester United didn't overtake them with that loss. And Liverpool are catching. Who would have thought Liverpool could get Champions League football this time about 3 months ago? Look at the form they're in. And they're against the Foxes next. Leicester, look out. Down the bottom, Southampton maybe could be relegated against Nottingham Forest tomorrow night. That'd be very interesting watching that match. Everton are there. Leeds, Leicester, West Ham, I think it's just 7 points. I think they're okay now. Okay, Serie A. So yesterday, Milan beat Lazio. They're in a really good run ahead of that semi-final. Inter also won. So both Milan sides beat both Rome sides 2-0. Roma's chance of European football hanging on a wire at the minute. They really have to win the Europa League to get into Europe next year. By the looks of it, I'm pretty gutted, but there we go. Cremonese with a shock victory over Spezia, putting Spezia into the relegation zone. Then we've got today Atalanta losing home to Juve. So Atalanta's Champions League spot being grabbed from them. Torino, Monza 1-0. Napoli beating Fiorentina, the champions. Napoli, congratulations. 1-0. That match is happening nowish. Okay, and the league table shows us that Napoli have won the title. Juve now second. Lazio and Inter, Milan chasing. Atalanta and Roma trying to grab that last spot for Conference League at the very minimum. I think, yeah, it's not possible for Fiorentina to catch them. Down the bottom, though, Hellas Verona have got out of the relegation spot. Spezia are now there after not being there all season. Cremonese still fighting, but Sampdoria are down. Okay, La Liga. I'm a curse because when I watch Athletic Bilbao play, they always lose, so I'm going to stop watching them. So let's have a look. So Tuesday, Almeria beat Elche 2-1, Barcelona beat Osasuna 1-0, Real Sociedad beat Real Madrid. Oh, I think I did this in the last video. Valencia drew with Villarreal, who are quite close to them geographically, 1-0. Atletico beat Cádiz 5-1. Getafe beat Celta Vigo 1-0. Girona beat Mallorca 2-1. They're chasing European football. Sevilla beat Espanyol 3-2. Athletic Club lost at home to Real Betis. Had they won, they would have gone into the European spots. Real Betis have given themselves a little bit of wiggle room, and Rayo beat Real Valladolid. So that means Barcelona top, obviously, Atletico Madrid second, Real Madrid are only third with that loss to Sociedad, who are themselves in fourth and pretty safe now, I think. Villarreal, Real Betis and Girona in the European spots, but Athletic Club trying to chase that last spot. Europa League is out of the way now. Conference League is the best that they can do, but look, lots of teams chasing, including, unbelievably, Sevilla. Bundesliga. Okay, matches. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm so pleased. Borussia Dortmund beat Wolfsburg 6-0. And yesterday, Gladbach beat Bochum 2-0. Augsburg beat Union Berlin 1-0. Wow. Hertha got a win. Beat Stuttgart 2-1. Freiburg lost a match 1-0 to Leipzig. Hoffenheim beat Frankfurt 3-1. And Bayern Munich got the win against Werder Bremen 2-1. What does that mean for the table then? Bayern still top, but just by a point. Leipzig now jump up to third for European football, Champions League football. Union Berlin hanging on there, Freiburg are on them. Again, unbelievable by Leverkusen. Many would think that they were in a relegation battle this season, but like Sevilla, they've managed to come back. Talking about relegation, Stuttgart, Bochum and Hertha. Schalke are out of there with that win, but they've got Bayern next. And yeah, that's interesting. So Hertha 25. Oh, it's looking very tricky now, isn't it? Let's go to France and have a look. Ligue 1. I've been practicing. Reims. Paris Saint-Germain top. Oh, actually, let's look at matches. Thank you for the comments on how to help me pronounce that name. So Nice beat Rennes 2-1. Reims beat Lille 1-0. Lens continue to win. Oh wow, against Marseille this time. That's going to affect the top of the table. Angers lost again. Monaco picked up a win at last, 2-1. Had a bad spot. Ajaccio and Toulouse won a 0-0. Auxerre, Clermont Foot 1-1. Clermont will be angry about that. Lorient beat Brest in the Battle of Brittany 2-1. Nantes lost at home. They're in big trouble. Strasbourg 2-0. Apparently this match was insane. 5-4 between Lyon and Montpellier, with Lacazette scoring a last-minute winner. Where does that leave the table then? So Lens are now second, above Marseille, into the automatic qualification spots for the Champions League. How amazing. Monaco are in fourth, 6 points behind, though I don't think they can catch Marseille. Lille are hanging in there for European football, but Rennes are chasing them. It's too far for Nice now. I think Lyon are in with a chance still. And in this big season with 4 relegated sides in France to reduce the league to 18 teams, Nantes are in big trouble now, 2 points away from Auxerre. Ajaccio, Troyes and Angers. Angers are gone already, but and they've got Marseille next. Ouch. And apparently Ajaccio and Troyes both got Paris Saint-Germain next. Ouch, ouch. Okay, let's take a look at the Eredivisie. Is Feyenoord still top? So today's matches, let's have a look at yesterday's as well, shall we? Yesterday, PSV beat Rotterdam 1-0. Sparta. Cambuur lost at home to Utrecht 3-0. Heerenveen won away to Nijmegen 3-2. Ajax could only draw with Alkmaar 0-0 at home. And today, Ema lost at home to Twente 3-0. Excelsior lost at home to Feyenoord 2-0. Go Ahead drew at home to Groningen 1-0. Fortuna Sittard 2-0 winners at home to Vitesse. So in terms of the table then, Feyenoord, champions elect, might actually be champions now, right? And Eindhoven 5 points ahead of Ajax now, so I think Ajax are going to rely on the cup to get into the Europa League. Alkmaar are hopefully going to be back in Europe next year, but I think there's a playoff system to come. And down the bottom, Cambuur, Groningen and Excelsior. But on goal difference, Ema are still in with a shout of relegation. They need to be careful. Let's look at Portugal. So, yesterday's matches and Friday. Frasa Casa Pia 1-0 with Portimonense. Santa Clara beat Gil Vicente 3-2. Boavista beat Estoril 1-0. Benfica back to winning ways 1-0 against Braga. Big match that. Could help out their city rival Sporting incidentally with that result. Marítimo 2-0 with Rio Ave. And Vitória de Guimarães 3-0 winners against Vizela. When did Porto play then? Maybe Porto are playing on Monday? Yeah, they are. No, yeah, Tuesday in fact. Okay, and that has affected the table as follows. Benfica back from their slip. Porto got a game in hand, but still, it's a 4-point gap I think. And Braga still in third, but it's been cut to 4 points. Aruca looking for European football next season, good for them. Down the bottom, Marítimo, Passos and Santa Clara. I'm surprised Santa Clara are going down actually. Okay, let's take a look at Belgium and we'll come back to Scandinavia. Belgium are in the playoff sections at the moment. So, yesterday Club Brugge lost at home to Union Saint-Gilloise. That could be important. Gent beat Standard Liège away. Westerlo lost at home to Cercle Bruges. And Antwerp beat Genk 2-1. Let's have a look at the table then. So in the top section, Antwerp are top. This is really exciting because this has changed hands like 3 times in the 3 last videos I've done. So yeah, Antwerp are top, Genk are second on goal difference over Saint-Gilloise, and Bruges are miles behind. So it's a 3-team fight. Very, very fun in that league. And then for Champions playoff spot, Gent are winning at the moment, 5 points ahead of Standard Liège. Okay, let's take a look at the Allsvenskan, which has just started, as you know. So Göteborg, big win for them. They needed that. They were bottom last time I checked. 6-0 winners against Degerfors. They'll be pleased with that. Next up, Norrköping beat Hammarby 2-0. Värnamo lost at home to Brommapojkarna 1-0. Malmö with another 6-0, this time against Varberg. And then they played in the next match day against AIK, beat them 3-1. And that'll be quite a big game because that's the Stockholm against Malmö. Halmstad beat Häcke. Oh wow, okay. Häcken, the current champions, lost 1-0. Let's have a look at the table then. Early days, I know. After 7 matches, Malmö are top by a long way over last year's champions Häcken, and Elfsborg are in third. And early days, AIK are down the bottom, former champions. Göteborg, massive team down the bottom as well, and Varberg. Interesting. Okay, let's go to Denmark. Superligaen. So we're in the championship playoffs now, and Midtjylland beat Silkeborg 3-0. Abo beat Horsens 4-0. Lyngby beat Midtjylland 2-1. Silkeborg lost at home to Odense 1-0. Randers lost at home to Brøndby 3-1, and Aarhus beat Viborg 3-0. Copenhagen play against Nordsjælland. That's a big match. Away at 6 o'clock tomorrow. This video will have come out by then. Someone drop a comment and let me know how it went, because that could affect the top of the table with Copenhagen and Nordsjælland. Both are vying for first position. Aarhus trying to catch up with them though. Viborg is very close as well, like Belgium. Quite like this format. Maybe they should start doing it in different leagues as well. I know they do it in Wales, but unfortunately Wales has only ever one winner. Okay, should we go to Turkey next then? So Turkey's latest matches have been, let's have a look. Antalyaspor lost home to Besiktas 3-1. Demirspor beating Alanyaspor, I can never say this word, Alanyaspor 4-2. Ümraniyespor 4-1 winners over Sivasspor. Konyaspor and Kayserispor 2-2. Giresunspor, drew with Fenerbahce 1-0. If you've seen my latest video, you'll find out I actually own, bizarrely, a Giresunspor top. I got it as one of my mystery kits recently. Check out that video. Gaziantep lost at home to Fatih 3-0. These couldn't play, I think, so just awarded a victory. Okay, so, and what was, so tomorrow quite a lot of matches, including Galatasaray. So that means Galatasaray are top, but they have to keep winning because Fenerbahce are on the chase, as are Besiktas, but they've played 2 more games. But they're both on good form, and Galatasaray lost their last match to Besiktas. So it's a 3-way for the title with the 3 big teams from Istanbul. How exciting. And down the bottom, Gaziantep and Hatayspor. Yeah, okay. Right, where to next? Let's go to Russia. I know that my team lost to their rivals today. I'm all upset. So, Nizhny Novgorod 0-0 with Ural. CSK beating Orenburg 2-1. Krasnodar beating Krylia Sovetov 2-1. And unfortunately, we lost in the 90th minute, when I think it's like 91st, after Quincy Promes, my favourite player, got an 85th minute penalty to equalise. Then Sergeyev got the winner. How does that affect the table? I think we're still, oh no, we're down to 4th, oh dear. So yes, CSKA have gone up to 2nd over Rostov, and Zenit, champions-elect, in 1st place down the bottom. In the playoff relegations, Fakal and Nizhny Novgorod, Khimki and Torpeda in the automatics. Good to see Lokomotiv have got out of that trouble that they were in. Let's go to Poland, shall we? The Ekstraklasa. Yes, okay. Rakov, Częstochowa are still doing great. The latest results were Radiomak Radom lost at home to Piast Gliwice, Lech Poznan 3-0 against Cracovia, Lechia Gdańsk lost home 3-1 to Zagłębie Lubin, Wisła Płock 0-0 with Stal Mielec, Korona Kielce 1-0 winners over the top team, so they have lost a match, Rakov Częstochowa, and Pogoń beat Legia Warszawa 2-1. But they were so far ahead, it hasn't mattered. They're still 11 points ahead of Legia Warszawa, and Pogoń are in 3rd down the bottom. Miedz Legnica really struggling. Okay, let's go to Czechia, shall we? Latest results there were Baník Ostrava 4, Brno 0, Zlín 1 and Jablonec 1, Teplice 1, Pardubice 0, Victoria Pilsen 2-0 with Slovacko, then Sigma Olomouc lost home to Sparta Praha, Mlada Boleslav 0-0 with Hradec Králové, Dinamo Budějovice 3-2 winners over Slovan Liberec, and Slavia Praha beating Bohemian 6-0. That's a big result. In terms of the table then, that means that in the championship group, Slavia Praha are still 2 points ahead of their rivals. Sorry, Sparta Praha, say it correctly, are 2 points ahead of their rivals Slavia Praha. And Victoria Pilsen are in 3rd by some way. Down the bottom, Zlín are in trouble. Pardubice and Brno are in the relegation playoffs. Okay, who's next? This is Switzerland. So, latest results from Switzerland. Sion lost at home to Winterthur 1-0. St. Gallen lost at home to Young Boys 2-0. Luzern 2-all draws with Lugano. Bâle lost at home to Zurich 2-0. Grasshopper lost at home to Servette. What's happening with playing at home? No one won at home. And in terms of the table, Young Boys are still miles ahead. Servette, though, going for that Champions League playoff, being chased down by Lugano and Luzern. Bâle really struggling, though. Maybe we won't see them in European competition unless they win the Conference League. Okay, next, Scotland. So, yesterday, Hibs beat St Mirren 2-1, Motherwell beat Kilmarnock 2-0, Ross County beat Livingston 2-0, St Johnstone beat Dundee 1-0, Celtic managed to beat Hearts 2-0, and Rangers beat Aberdeen 1-0. Two big games there. And the way it's affected the table is Celtic are definitely top, Rangers second, but Aberdeen and Hearts are still as they were. Down the bottom, Ross County, Kilmarnock now slipping into that relegation playoff spot. Okay, the League of Ireland. Bohemians are top. Let's have a look at some of the matches. So this league is just starting. So Cork lost at home to St Patrick's Athletic 3-2. Drogheda lost home to Derry City 1-0. Shamrock beat Bohemian 2-0. Shelbourne beat UCD, the University of Dublin, 1-0, and Dundalk won away to Sligo 1-0. And how many have they played? 14, or halfway through then, I suppose. Bohemian top, Shamrock second, Derry third. Down the bottom, UCD and Cork City in the relegation spots. Where next? Let's go to Northern Ireland. And we're nearly finished. These are the penultimate round, or maybe just finishing off next week. Ballymena beat Carrick 1-0. Cliftonville lost at home to Linfield 2-0. Coleraine beat Larne 3-0. Crusaders lost at home to Glentoran 2-1. Dungannon won at home to Newry 2-1. And Glenavon drew with Portadown 0-0. And that means that Larne are top, and they've easily won it. Can't be caught. Linfield are looking for Europa football in second, and Glentoran are in third. Down the bottom, Portadown. Dungannon Swifts still, goal difference is bad though. Have to try and get out of it there. I think it might be over though. Okay, let's look at the Cymru Premier. So, matches. Yeah, nearly at the end. Last games of the season. Aberystwyth beat Carnarvon 3-2. Airbus lost at home, completing a season without any points whatsoever. Haverfordwest beat them 4-1. Cardiff Met beat Bala 2-1. Penabont beat Newtown 2-1. Pontypridd beat Flint 3-2. TNS Champions Elect 4-1 winners over second best team Connors Quay Nomads. Newtown beat Ballatown 4-2. And yesterday Haverfordwest on penalties in the playoffs beat Cardiff Met 4-3. So where's that leave us then? So TNS are champions, Connors Quay second, but I think the rest are doing the playoffs at the minute. Okay, yeah. So Newtown and Haverfordwest in the final of the playoffs for European football next season. Okay, let's look very quickly at the championship. Some big matches today to try and get into the playoffs. Cardiff lost at home to Huddersfield 2-1, big result for Huddersfield to avoid relegation. Rotherham 1-0 over Middlesbrough, shockingly. Blackburn Luton 1-1. Huddersfield beating Sheffield United 1-0. They played twice in as many days. Interesting. Oh yeah, these are all tomorrow, that's why. Let's have a quick look at the table though. Burnley and Sheffield United are already up. In the playoffs at the moment, Luton, Middlesbrough, Coventry, Millwall, Sunderland can maybe get there. West Brom could too, but they're against Swansea and we're going to beat them for you, Sunderland, don't worry. Blackburn could make it, Swansea can't. But we have home pride, home game to West Brom. If we can finish on 66, then it means that, we can say that we nearly made it. Down the bottom, Cardiff still in trouble. Oh no, they're okay, they're safe. One game to play and there's 5 points, so they're safe. Reading, Blackpool and Wigan are down. Huddersfield have picked up form actually, I was wrong. I watched a couple of League One games today, so I know that there were some important matches to get into the playoffs. The playoffs have been decided by the looks of it. Lots of matches, let's just go through the important ones. Peterborough 2-0 winners over Barnsley. Bolton beat Bristol 3-2. Milton Keynes and Burton Albion 0-0. That's massive for both clubs, I'll talk about that in a second. Another big result for Cambridge, they are safe, 2-0 winners over Forest Green. Cheltenham, Charlton 2-all. Exeter Morecambe 3-2 to Exeter. Fleetwood drawing with Ipswich 2-all. Lincoln beating Shrewsbury 1-0. Oxford losing at home to Accrington Stanley 2-1. Plymouth winning away 3-1, big for them. Portsmouth drawing with Wickham 2-all, and Sheffield Wednesday putting Derby County out of the playoff spots with a 1-0 win. Let's look at the tables then. After the last game of the season, Plymouth are up, Ipswich are up. Sheffield Wednesday have the advantage in the playoffs. Barnsley, Bolton Wanderers and Peterborough are joining them, missing out at Derby. And down the bottom, Cambridge is safe, Oxford is safe, but down are MK Dons, Morecambe, Accrington Stanley and Forest Green Rovers by a big difference. Okay, just have a quick look and see how Ronaldo's doing. So where are they? They beat Al Riyad 4-0 in their previous match, and Ronaldo scored. And in terms of the table, they are second and they've got to catch up, 3 points. But the Champions League football looks assured for next season. And we know Ronaldo loves Champions League football. Should we pop over the pond? Righty, who? MLS. Let's have a look at the latest matches then. So today's matches, lots. So yesterday, this was last week, so today. Montreal beating Orlando 2-0. Charlotte beating New York City 3-2. Cincinnati beating DC United 2-1. Inter Miami beat Atlanta 2-1. New York Red Bulls lost home to Philly 1-0. San Jose beating Los Angeles FC 2-1. Toronto losing at home to New England Revolution 2-0. That match was called off for some reason, let me know why. It's abandoned apparently. Houston Dynamo 0-0 with Real Salt Lake. Nashville beat Chicago 3-0. LA Galaxy lost at home to Colorado Rapids 3-1. Portland Timbers drew with Austin 2-all. Vancouver beat Minnesota 3-2. Let's see how the tables are looking then. So, at the top of the Eastern Conference are the New England Revolution after 11 games. Cincinnati is on goal difference with them. But some big teams in New York are down the bottom. And in the Western Conference, Seattle Sounders at top. And St. Louis are in second. Los Angeles FC, the champions, are in third. Down the bottom are Sporting Kansas City. Okay. Vamos a Mexico. And then lastly we'll go to Brazil. So, matches. So the most recent matches, haven't been too many matches so far. Why are there penalties? What's happening? Are we in playoffs? Oh, how curious. Why are we in playoffs? So is the clausura. So are we at the end of the... So the Apertura has happened, and the Clausura is at the end of the season. I thought we only understood... I'm confused. Why have we got so many... So it says playoff. So Santos Monterrey are in that one, and then tomorrow's match is León San Luis and Tigres Puebla, come on Tigres, to have the chance of getting into the semi-finals. Next matches are yet to be determined. Interesting. Okay, so we're at the end of the Clausura, are we? So what must have happened? I thought the season had ended, but it was the end of the Apertura, because it works differently in some Central and South American competitions. They play like half the season and then half the season. So yeah, I think I confused myself. I understand what's going on now. Okay, and let's take a look at Canada briefly before we go to Brazil. So the Canadian Premier League. Latest results, Cavalry drawing with Valor 1-1, Pacific losing home to Forge 1-0. Forge also beat York United 1-0, Valor drawing with HFX Wanderers, and Pacific beating Atletico Ottawa 4-1. Okay, I haven't saved Brazil because I couldn't do it, but I can find it really easy. Hang on. B for Brazil, Serie A. How many games are we in? 4 games. Okay, so yesterday, Cruzeiro back in the division. I think Ronaldo is sort of original Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. He is their sort of, I want to say, he's in charge of it. He's not the manager, but he's sort of. So they beat Santos 2-1. Fluminense drew with Vasco da Gama, and América Mineiro lost home to Cuiabá 2-1. So they were the most recent results. Lots of matches this evening. And currently Cruzeiro are top. Botafogo are second. Some big teams. Slow starts. Atlético Mineiro 12th. Flamengo 16th. And Corinthians 18th. Wow. But we're really early on, so don't worry about it just yet. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, can you click like for me, please? A couple of you from this channel particularly have joined my Patreon. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel in a different way. If you want to know how to do that, then just read the comment section, the info section below with the link to my Patreon account. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Okay, I look forward to reading your comments.